Chris Latch. This is Josh Harrington, number 1, and Colin Turner, number 25. Obviously, super proud of our guys. Huntsville has an unbelievable team. Coach Swears does an unbelievable job. We've got some really good players that run really good things, and it was a really tough matchup to prepare for because of how well coached they are and how well they play together and how well they compete. I'm super proud of our kids. I thought it was a great high school basketball game. I thought there was we tell our kids all the time it's a game of runs, and I thought there were several big runs. I was proud when we got down and we called the timeout there, and I thought that was the pivotal point where our kids had to make a decision whether we were going to fight back and get off the mat a little bit and regain momentum or just kind of muddle through. And I thought our kids put their foot in the ground and just said, hey, we're going to get this thing done. These two kids that are joining me here, I kid with people all the time. I think I want to retire when these two guys graduate because these guys mean so much to me. They make my job fun. They make my job easy because they're such great leaders, such coachable kids. They've been with us all 4 years that we've been at the school. And I'm just tremendously proud of them. They deserve any kind of accolades and credit that they get, not just as great players, which they are, but they're great young men, great leaders, and just great for our program and great representations of our school.
Colin, for you, man, today you went 9 for 12 from the field, 7 for 7 from the line. Mm-hmm. You knew coming in against Caleb Harrison that was going to be an intriguing matchup right there. Talk about the looks you were getting. You seem to play. I like your game as like an 80s or 90s big man. You're not so much into shooting threes and running the floor. You really get down there and grind. Talk about your game today and the looks you were getting against Caleb.
Well, I think the main thing is I was just trying to pretty much just bang inside the whole time. That's what I've been trying to do the whole practice. That's what Coach Ash and Coach Floyd have been hammering me about. And I felt like it was with Josh being able to he started to create a lot in the second half, so that was able to really kind of open me up. I think in the second half because they were locking down after I don't know how many I had in the first quarter, but it felt like a lot.
Coach, you guys shoot 60% again. What's that an indication of that you're playing? Shoot the ball that well this time of year?
We spend a lot of time working on it. I do know that. But I think it's a credit to these guys. I think, there's two schools of thought. There's a shot volume where we can put it up and we shoot enough, then maybe enough go in. We're on the other side of it. We try to get the right guys, the right shots at the right time, and don't just turn down good shots, or don't just take good shots. We try to turn those down to get great shots. And, you can look at the shot attempts. I mean, the right guys are getting the shots. I mean, we're not going to be really good, very good coaches if we're not throwing it in here to Colin and if, Josh doesn't have the ball in his hands a lot. And so I think it's just our kids buying into roles, embracing that and believing in that and trusting in that. And so we get the right guys, the right shots at the right times, and then they're good enough and tough enough to make the play to finish it.
Well, for both the players, obviously, only 2 starters back on this year's team, 2 senior leaders. The message after last year, y'all fall short in the Final Four. What was the goal for y'all to kind of get everybody together coming into this season?
Well, a lot of the guys that are with us now, they felt basically what we felt after that loss last year. They were ready. They wanted to get back to work, and they were probably the easiest group of guys to round up and want to win a basketball game. We struggled early with finding a rhythm with playing with each other, but there was always a want to win that we've kept. And I think that's going to carry over into our next game, especially if we get to face Enterprise again. It's kind of who we want, but I love the camaraderie we have and the way they compete. That's something that usually it's tough to get new guys like that to come in, new program, new coach, and all this kind of stuff to do, but they bought in, and it's awesome playing with them.
Yeah, I think kind of going off that, just having everybody else just as hungry to get back to this game as me and Josh were, that's just been great all season. You wouldn't expect a bunch of new guys who they just almost wouldn't care to get back, but they want to get back and they want to repeat it and not repeat it last year.
Coach, after last year, what were some of the takeaways that you always learn from losses? What were some of the takeaways you had from last year that's definitely going to help you as you enter this season's Final Four?
Well, I think we've made a bigger concerted effort of defensive glass. We try to be really multiple defensively. We try to switch to our man and zone and really try to keep them off balance, our opponents. Last year, I believe Enterprise had 21 offensive rebounds, and actually in overtime tipped one in at the buzzer is how we lost. So that was a big emphasis all off season and all season and all summer, and is rebounding. And so we've done a much better job of that. So I think that's what I think that's what we took from us scheme wise. I think then just the fact that we've got a couple of guys that have been there. I think that gives and the leaders that they are. I think it gives our guys who haven't been there some confidence that they trust these guys and they'll follow these guys, and these guys say we're going to be okay, then they believe we're going to be okay.
When y'all closed the game out 13-14, the final 3:26 with the free throw line. How big was that? And that final stretch obviously made the difference there.
Yeah, just being able to close out a game like that's unbelievable, and there's a lot of pressure on those free throws, right? And we always tell our guys free throws is the only thing that's the only constant in basketball. It's always the same distance. You always got 10 seconds to shoot it, and you're never guarded. And it sounds so easy, but yet your mind is what gets into it because of the atmosphere and what the pressure and what all's at stake. And these kids showed just a lot of toughness and resilience just to step up there and knock them down. And that's where you're just proud of them, when you just see that toughness, and that's an evidence of that.
Anything else, guys? Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate you guys covering. Appreciate each other.
We got one more thing.